And my relationship with tech is, I have a committed relationship with tech. And a serious relationship.
If the women are not more into tech or allowed to or access to education, then why do you have to have them in mind when we are maybe developing something?
Proverbs 31, those days, you said that woman was doing what? She was working. She had businesses. She made money. Those Proverbs 31 is not me, it's the Bible. So you can't tell me that men were working. So they made tech, but it wasn't just for men.
So you feel like it's not a boys'
We have to research into this.
Why do you think that right now, when you go to KNUS, you go to computer science, when you go in there, a few modes, right? Why do you think it's like that? Because some are afraid to do it, and then some they learn it way back, and then they just want to explore more.
Welcome to Beyond the Keyboards, where we amplify voices in tech and beyond, and I'm your lovely host, Princesster. In this space, we talk about real-life conversations about work, technology, and everything in between. Here, it's not just about coding or gadgets, it's about the stories, the struggles, the wins and loves that shape our journeys in and outside of tech. In each episode, we bring you honest conversations about people who have been there, have done that, and are still figuring it out, just like you and I. So stay tuned and enjoy every conversation we'll be bringing to you. In today's episode, we are answering the big question: does tech intimidate you? But before we dive in, let's give a quick shout out to today's sponsor, Petit Déjeuner, the perfect brunch and breakfast spot in Accra. Whether you are looking for fluffy pancakes or waffles or freshly squeezed juice, Petit is the spot for you. For more details, check Petit Déjeuner out on Instagram or TikTok. I'm so excited about today's conversation because I'm not doing it alone. Joining me today are three beautiful women who have their own unique experiences when it comes to tech. Ladies, welcome to Beyond the Keyboard.
Thank you.
Before we start, can you just start by introducing yourself, your name, what you do, and a fun fact about your relationship with technology?
Okay, my name is Fosua. I work as an executive virtual assistant. And my relationship with tech is, I have a committed relationship with tech. And a serious relationship.
Okay, why do you say that?
Because I think this year has been good. My journey in tech has been good and consistent. I started last year.
Okay.
This year has been better. And yeah, basically that's it.
That's why you're in a committed relationship. Yeah. Okay, thank you so much, Fosua.
Okay, so hi everyone. My name is Esther. I'm a social worker and of course a customer service representative. And with tech, it's kind of complicated. We keep going back and forth because as I said, it's complicated. So I'll explain later on that.
You'll explain later on. Okay.
Hi everyone, my name is Josephine. I'm a journalist.
Okay, and what about your relationship with tech? How is your relationship?
Oh, it's complicated.
Hey!
It doesn't understand me. I don't know why, but I'm trying to understand it too, yes.
But is it getting better?
Yeah, it's getting better.
You said tech does not understand you, or you don't understand tech?
It doesn't understand
which is
me.
which?
It doesn't.
Okay, thank you so much. You are the one trying to understand tech. Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much for that beautiful introduction. So now let's just dive into our conversation for today. When you hear the word tech, what's the first thing that comes to mind? Is it excitement or fear? Fosua?
Curiosity.
Okay, why do
you
you
say
that?
With a pinch of excitement.
Can you explain?
Well, I mean, tech is a bit weird because, I mean, it entails a lot that is not out there. It's not like the usual thing that almost everybody looks like, almost everybody can venture into. And so to me, there's a bit of curiosity in there. But then it excites me as well, at least so far with my journey in tech, what I have learned so far. That's where the excitement is coming from.
Okay.
For me, I think it's a mix of both.
Okay.
Yes, the excitement part comes when the you have to learn something new, share with others, because you kind of feel like I have this knowledge and I have to share it. With that, I'll say the excitement comes in, but the fear also comes in a bit when maybe the gadget or the tools or the apps you have to use are a bit complex. Then you are asking yourself like, am I really doing the right thing? Is that the way to go about it? So to me, I feel it's a mix of both.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. What about you?
I think it's the same thing. It's a mixed feeling. And I have few more friends that are into tech. So anytime they talk about tech, I get excited for them. But then when someone approaches me and asks me about tech, like, are you putting me on the spot? I get scared. But I think starting Soronko, I've gotten a lot of confidence in myself, and I'm getting there.
And that will bring me to the next question. Esther mentioned something about gadgets. So, do you think when they design technological gadgets, they have women in mind, or it's just a boys' club?
For me, I think it's boys' club.
It's boys' club.
Yes. The reason I'm saying this, of course, if you look at it from historical times, education, jobs were mostly offered to males and not women. So therefore, if who have access to education and those who are those who are mostly employed are mostly males, then why not design gadget or what's it called, tech tools to suit them?
Yeah.
Because the question now is, if the women are not more into tech or allowed to or access to education, then why do you have to have them in mind when we are maybe developing something? So I felt like it's more of boys' club. Yeah. If you even take our first games or other stuff like Super Mario or Sonic,
Yeah.
the characters were mostly males. There's been a bit of change,
Yeah.
where there's they involve the women as well, because we have the flow apps and other stuff that women can actually use. So I think for now it has changed a bit, but I feel like there's still more work to be done. Yeah. So if you have more women in the tech space, then women who are in the room when they are designing the whatever the app or gadget,
yeah,
then it means they can actually let you know what is needed for, or what they need. Then you can actually work on it. So there's still more work to be done when it comes to that. Yeah.
So, Fosua, your facial expression, what's going on?
I just couldn't wait for her to finish because I disagree with her for saying that if you look at history, the fact that history has it that people who were allowed to work were males doesn't mean that tech or tech gadgets were made without women in mind. I disagree. And whether it's a man that made tech gadgets doesn't mean whoever made it didn't have women in mind. Those times, men were allowed to work. They needed something to work with. And so something was created so that they can work. It didn't mean that they didn't have women in mind.
But you are saying that those days, men needed something to work.
Yes.
So why would they consider a woman if they are making it for a man?
It doesn't, but there were women.
But women weren't working.
It didn't mean that women won't work. I really do not think that women were not working. Yeah. Maybe just a greater number of men were working, and then a lesser number of women were working.
But
that's what I think. I don't think that everybody who was working back then was like a male. I disagree. I wasn't there, but I don't.
But don't you think majority carries a vote? Because at the end of the day, you're not just designing the gadgets. Because you're not just designing the gadgets.
You see, majority
you still need benefits from whatever you are doing. So, am I going to consider that 1% over the 90% or the 99%?
Do you know why majority cannot carry a vote?
Imagine I'm designing something.
Can I finish my submission? As a Christian, Proverbs 31, those days, you said a woman was doing what? She was working. She had businesses. She made money. Those Proverbs 31 is not me, it's the Bible. So you can't tell me that men were working. So they made tech, but it wasn't just for men. Trust me.
It's not a
we have to research into this, else we can't agree.
Okay. What Josephine has something to say.
Honestly, I also disagree, and I feel like we think that it is a men's club because of how we grew up. So you see, when we were growing up in classrooms, we were the teachers that were teaching us ICT were all males. You go to these printing shops, and then all you see are males. Even if you see a female, she might not be the boss. So growing up, seeing all that, you might think that, oh, this is for the men. And then it got to a point where sometimes when you are lucky and then you get a practical aspect of ICT, the men, even though they didn't know how to play this game that you mentioned, they were still trying to learn it and then play that game. And then the women were just sitting at the back laughing. Hey, she has shot this person up. We were just sitting there laughing. We didn't even learn it. We thought that, oh, since when you go here is all like you only see men, then it's for men. So that perception grew with us. So like when you're going, oh, as for tech is a men's world. That is why we feel like this is even a question. But then all these things were not made because of a man. No, we're not interested, and it just happened.
So they were not made because of a man, but they were made with the idea.
But at the end of the
they
day,
think about
when you are developing in it, you still need to have your target audience.
exactly.
You don't just
Target audience doesn't mean other audience cannot use. Yes.
You are not like there's several other stuff that gadget that women do not have access to.
Why do you think that right now when you go to KNUS, you go to computer science, when you go in there are a few females, right? Why do you think it's like that? Because some are afraid to do it, and then some they learnt it way back and then they just want to explore more. When you take me for example, what am I going to do in a computer science? Like I'm scared because at the end of the day, the people I see there, I feel like since I didn't really learn it, I don't want to be there. Do you get what I mean? But if the women were really into it, like for example, Fosua was talking about, she really liked it and then she wants to explore more. If we were interested, if we learned the games that the boys were playing, if we were going to the printing shop to also learn how to print and all that, we
wouldn't have seen it that way.
But then we're not even giving the access to that.
That is a problem. That's why we feel like it was made for men. But no.
So I'll leave this to the audience. Do you think technological gadgets are designed with women in mind, or it feels like a boys' club? So let's see your comments below. Okay, so now that will bring us to our next question. What's the funniest or most confusing tech fail you've ever had? Like muting yourself on Zoom or sending the wrong email? Why did you laugh?
Sending the wrong emails.
Yeah.
Send this I think it's the most I have done. Sending an email to the wrong recipient. And the fact that initially, now I know that there's a way you can reverse it, but initially I didn't know. So I mean, I was making those mistakes, but now I know how to. I'm tech savvy, so I know how.
Esther.
Okay, so the funniest situation, right, where you're using the device and then you're like, it's not working, no. Then you have to call someone and be like, I didn't need you, like I tried, it's not working. And they're like, have you plugged? Yes, I've done that. I've switched everything on, it's not working. I said, check it again. Only for you. I said, oh, sorry, I didn't tell it all, sorry. Then you have to go and do it. So yes, it's one of my technological fails.
I think mine was also an email during my national service days. I think I wrote a story and I was supposed to send it to GBC the email so that the editors will read and then they post it online. I sent it and they didn't post it. So I was like, why was my story not that good? Why was it not posted? Not knowing that I sent a blank email. So later in the evening, the editor called me that what you sent, nothing was, So yeah.
That's your tech fail. Okay. And then what's one everyday piece of tech you still struggle with, even if it seems simple to everyone else? Is there any tech skill that seems so simple, but when it comes to you, you find it so tedious?
Copy and paste. I have been Google session. How can I copy and paste this? Then Google give me the answer. Then fast I do it. I have been doing it. That's my struggle. I mean, I don't know why. I don't know. Maybe I just forget the keys.
Okay.
So I always have to go back and go and find out. So Google has been sorting me out.
Your body.
But copy and paste is a struggle for me.
Okay. So mine will probably website development, and I still struggle with that. Yes, and I know a lot of even my colleagues here have even explained it to me, but the whole thing about wireframe and then prototype is just still flying in my head. Even so, I keep telling that, keep learning. Like when you get familiar with it, you realize that it starts easy, but it's still flying.
It's still flying.
It's still flying in my head.
Where will it land?
It will.
But for now, having a discussion with my colleagues, I realize that they actually find it easy.
No, I know. I want you to stay with me.
So yeah.
So for you, okay. Okay. What about you, just?
Honestly, I don't think it's simple though. As you said, I think Excel, my own, I struggle with Excel and then websites. But I know that I'll get there. With Excel, it's like when you type this, it goes here. You have to go and bring it back, like, hey. And then with the website too, even though we started learning about it, even though right now we are doing copy and pasting, but this copy and pasting, I struggle with it. I can say more than 50 times. So it's like, yeah, but I know I'll get there. Definitely.
Okay, thank you so much. So, have you ever walked into a tech space and felt like you didn't belong?
I have a couple of times. I have because I've been trying to change careers from whatever I'm doing now into the tech space. I've been going for tech conferences and seminars. Yeah. And usually these tech people, they do their conferences in their working environment or their working space. Mm-hmm. It's always intimidating. The way they dress. It's so serious. Like sometimes when you see them, it's like I said, who they are go. They are so polished too. Like the females belt on some neat iron trousers with nice shoes, and you're probably in a dress with some heels. I said, oh, the Uber party. So it's always intimidating for me before, but now I'm tech savvy. You can't show me anything.
What about you?
Well, yes. I'll use an example. So I once walked into a room, right?
Yeah.
And the moment I got to the entrance, I was questioning myself, am I at the right place? Like the whole place was so quiet, and the aura I'm getting from the people, I'm like, did I enter the right room? So I had to come out, and then I looked around. They were like, that's the room. So I had, okay, fine. Grabbed my seat, sat down. Yeah. The whole session started. Mm-hmm. Then it's like, what's it called? They all had a secret language they're communicating with. Mm. Even though it's English.
Secret language.
Yeah, it's English though, but it just felt like, what are they saying? You're trying to catch up to understand what they're saying, but it just feels like you are lost. Mm-hmm. Then to add more sugar to it is when they make things worse by making those, what's it called? Those quick jokes.
Yeah.
So they'll make those quick jokes and they all burst out laughing like, what's funny? Like,
you don't understand what's going on.
Like what's so funny about
what's so funny? But how did you feel when you entered into Soronko Academy? Here's also a tech space. So how did you feel when you entered into this space?
It actually felt much calmer. I didn't even realize I was even in a tech environment. Mm-hmm. The moment I walked in, the receptionist, oh my goodness, her welcoming just touched my soul. Hi, welcome to Soronko Academy. I was like, oh, let me relax myself. I didn't need to be tense here. And then it just went all the way to the interview session. Mm-hmm. It was just a friendly conversation. Yeah. And I think before I came to Soronko Academy, I watched some few videos where Fosua even said, oh, the interview was, just relaxed section. So when you go in, just relax. So when I go in, I had it was time for me to be interviewed. It just felt relaxed. I didn't even realize I was being interviewed.
Yeah.
You understand? So with Soronko Academy, it just felt different.
Yeah.
You don't feel the need to be tensed up. You understand? So yeah, that's one good thing I'll give to them. So
We would like to add on, or she has said it all.
No, I think Soronko Academy is the real MVP when it comes to tech space. It's so relaxing, so calming. I mean, when you enter, there's a restaurant. And it is so cool. And then there's a fine, smiling receptionist. And because it's an institution or a school, you don't want to think that, everybody here is tech, because I mean, there's a receptionist. It doesn't mean that she's seriously interested. So it's relaxing and going into the tech space that everybody is serious.
With their dressing.
Those experiences, they were really wild for me. But I mean, Soronko is calm.
Okay. So this is Beyond the Keyboards, where we amplify voices in tech and beyond. If you have enjoyed the conversation so far, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to this channel. Now let's set things up a bit. I love a good debate. I don't know about you ladies. So do you think women are being pushed into tech, or is something we actually want to learn? Because me personally, growing up, I never liked tech. My ICT teacher was very wicked and we were doing more of theory. So once we even go and then we are supposed to practice whatever we have been taught in class, it's very difficult for me I don't understand what I'm doing. But as you grow older and then you further your education, you find out that you actually need the tech. So do you think we are being pushed to learn it, or it's like we actually have the love for it?
I think with that one, it's dependent on the individual. So maybe, let's say, for example, maybe I have a passion or I love tech, then yes, then I have to go into it. But I don't think women are being pushed into tech. But with modern day society, I feel like it's something that you need to learn. So you are not being pushed. It's just you need to keep up with the technology that is going on. So it's not something that you are being pushed, but you have to. But I also feel like it's also a passion. You have to have a passion for it.
Yeah.
Yes. So yeah, that's my take on that.
But if you don't have the passion, don't you think you'll be left behind? Because take our mothers. Simple mobile money, they find it very difficult. They don't even understand the whole concept. But it's like, it's here to stay. So you have to learn it. So let's say I don't have the passion. But right now, I feel like I'm being pushed to learn it. Or you don't believe we are being pushed?
I don't think the word should be pushed. I think it's more like dependency. You have to, just to keep up with what is going on. So I don't think it's pushed. So that's what I would say.
Okay, Fosua, what's your take on this?
So I mean, there's two sides to this for me.
Yeah.
I think that a greater number of women are being pushed because, like she said, you have to keep up.
Yeah.
And so even if you don't like it, by force, you have to.
to.
So, I mean, a greater number are being pushed to get into it. And then on the flip side, there's those of us who have always liked tech. And regardless of what we are doing now, we are still trying to navigate our way into the tech space.
Yeah.
And so, yes, a greater number are being forced, pushed, coerced, whatever, to learn tech, because the world is evolving, and if you don't catch up, we'll leave you behind.
Yes.
So whether you like it or not, whether you're selling tomatoes, whatever. I mean, 3 days ago, somebody reached out to me and said, "Charlie, person you use TikTok." An old woman, and my head was even, I was like, how will I even teach her? But she says, yes, it's a basso.
Yeah.
And that's the truth.
Yeah.
And so she doesn't even know how long she has to live. But she's alive and she has to catch up. Yeah. So by force, or person mentioned and use TikTok. So I think a greater number is being pushed to catch up with tech.
Okay, so since a greater number is being pushed to get into tech, do you believe tech intimidation is a real thing? Or it's just an excuse women give just to avoid tech?
Oh, in a part of the world, it's a real thing. Because we still think and believe that tech is for men.
Yeah.
And so it's a real thing. Yeah.
What about you?
Honestly, I think I'll focus on our education system. I think it really plays a role in what is happening right now, because I feel like I didn't like mathematics, but then mathematics was like 2 hours and I had to learn it by force, by fire. And you learn mathematics from primary, JHS, and senior high, and then lucky enough maybe you get to university and then you learn small statistics and you are done. But ICT, 30 minutes to break. What are you going to learn? You are not learning anything. And so, because of that, we didn't like it. The only thing we liked was physical education, right? Yes. And then when it comes to ICT, the men were more into it, like they knew what they were doing. But then as for the women, we just sat behind them and then we were watching what they were doing, laughing and all that. But then we didn't really put ourselves in there because we didn't see ourselves being there. So I think that plays a role. Because of our system, we felt like technology was not needed until, and then one example is English class. You say write a letter to this, write a letter. We are using books to write a letter, and then you get to university, you're telling me to write an email to the lecturer. How? So I think a lot of things that we did, we learned in primary JHS is different from what we are doing in university, and it's hard because I have a few friends in university that still struggled with typing, creating a folder and all that. So I feel like that in university you are forced to do it because nobody's going to do it for you. So I think that is why some right now, even when we are looking for jobs, we can't even write our letters, and then AI is doing everything for us. So I think that's basically it.
Yeah. I also agree with it, but I think it's intimidating, especially when it comes to the apps or the tools, and also the people that occupy the space. So if you have more of, let's say, male in the space, then you feel like, hey, this like how we've always put in it, engineering there, it's male centered, you understand? So the people also make it intimidating, and then of course the tools. So sometimes you realize that some apps or some gadgets, they are not friendly. If you're a newcomer, they're not friendly to you. You're kind of like feeling like, sorry to use this word, are you dumb? Like this simple thing, I can't do it. Because sometimes the buttons and then the settings are so complicated that you feel like, so the people and then the apps or the gadgets sometimes make you feel or intimidate the individual as the newcomer as a whole.
Okay, to add up to what she said, I think let's use Soronko for example. Let's say if I came in and then everybody, like all the people that were here were males, I think it would have been very intimidating because, they know what they are doing, and then they are here, and I don't. It's like asking your male, friend that, hey, teach me this. No, I feel like it's you just don't want to do it because even with the females, like you are trying so hard to ask someone to teach you. So imagine being in a place where everybody is a male and then they know what they are doing. It's not like they don't know, like they know, and then only you don't. So it becomes very intimidating. And also with the tools aspect, we are using Figma to create this website, and oh my god,
It's not easy.
But I know I get there.
You get there. I mean, I love what you said, and that even brings me to the next question. So, how do you think organizations and schools can be more intentional when it comes to making tech inclusive, and then also making sure that tech feels safe for women? Because here lies the case. Maybe you are coming from a home where they've made you feel like when it comes to laptop, it's for the men, but when it comes to maybe cooking, washing, it's for the women. So how do you think our institutions, because at the end of the day, that's where you are being brought up from the beginning, before you get to the university, how can they be more intentional about making technology feel safe and then more inclusive for women?
Okay, so I love what some organizations are doing. Aside the educational curriculum, what they're designed to be. We have, like for example, MTN Ghana, whereby they donate laptop to young individuals. You understand? We have some other organizations that actually give out, laptop to encourage the girl child to actually study, and that is actually a nice thing to do, because if I have the device, then I'm now curious to fidget around how to use it, what to do. But if I don't have the device and I go to school and they just show me the laptop or the mouse and I come back home, I feel like there's nothing special about it. So why should I learn? But now I have the device to myself. I'm sitting at home. I can just be fidgeting here and there, and I'll be like, okay, this is interesting. I found something, and this is actually interesting. So I really like what other organizations are doing. For again, Soronko Academy, giving the opportunity to young women to come and actually learn a skill. And I remember when I first started, my colleague was like, so it's only for women. I was like, yes. Why?
Why not?
Why every single time the males are being excluded? I'm like, well, we have more women. Let's start from there. We have more women than males. And it says if you educate a man, you educate an individual. But if you educate a woman, you educate the nation. So why not have more women in the tech space? So I believe that as I said, having these organizations, assist women, encourage them, motivate them is actually a good thing.
Okay, I really love how you passed it through the work field. So have you ever, you personally, you ladies, have you ever passed on a job opportunity because you felt like it was too technical? Your facial expression. Do you have a story to tell?
Oh yes, several. Sometimes you just go in like, data entry. This one day I don't have the skills. And then aside the 5 years, or maybe you need someone who's 5 years experience or 3 years experience, sometimes they'll tell you, or maybe we need a graphic designer. And you're like, this one I can't do it. So let's even bring it to the data entry. You're like, you can't do it. And sometimes people encourage you, it's just go and input this, do your research input. I'm like, no, it's too difficult. I can't do it. But then after you get a grasp of it, you realize that, and yes, because I'll use an example. Previously, I used to think being a virtual assistant was, that's scary. Like, I was like, hey, I can't do it, I can't. But then when I dive more into it, I realized that it's something I'm even doing, some basic things I'm actually doing every single day, but I don't even know that these are the skills that are required to be a virtual assistant. So like maybe doing travel planning, doing data entry, a whole lot of stuff. So it's basically sometimes I believe that these skills we have them, but we are not even aware that we have the skills, and we feel like because of the name. Sometimes the name alone scares you because they'll give you some huge or humongous name. They'll be like, hey, Juma, wait there. But then when you dive more, you're like, it's not that deep. So yes. So I think most of the time, searching for a job, it scares you.
Yeah, Josephine, do you have any add-ons?
Okay, I think you see when you want a job and then you're looking through and then I see something like the person must be good at Microsoft Excel. Hey, I just swap because Satan is not me. It's not me. So I feel like, but then since I came to Soronko, I when it comes to graphic design, even though I liked it, but then I didn't know how to do my stuff. But then when I came and then I learned a lot. Anytime I see, a post and they want a graphic designer, should I write? So I think, it's something that it has changed.
But do you think it's more of the skill or when it comes to soft skills? Because you find it funny that someone would actually have the skills, but maybe the person is just scared.
Yeah, so that's one thing I wanted to say. When you asked the question about what institutions can do, I also think that institutions should put together conferences, seminars, trainings to actually work on our mindset. Because it all boils down from the mindset. We've always thought that tech is for the males. And so right now, people even think that if you are a woman and you are trying to get into the tech space, men will be afraid of you. If you are not married, nobody will marry you. Because that's what somebody said to me. Somebody said, but I mean, you're working as an executive virtual assistant. You have a food business. Why are you stressing it? Why do you want to do what the men? I'm like, who told you it's for men? It's not for men. But I have my reasons for doing it. But people think that because it has always been the men, that is that is what it has to be. And so I think that our mindset needs to be worked on.
Yeah, mindset shift.
Yes, I mean, it has to be
so-
shifted. Because a lot of people think that tech, dear.
I think to add up to what she said about conferences,
Yeah.
I feel like in Ghana, when you talk about conferences, nobody is coming on. Unless maybe the person, you see, when you look at primary schools, and then lots of them do not use phones. And even if they do, they know what they are looking at and what they are watching. So maybe I think that maybe we should educate them, like we should go to the schools and then educate them and also increase the time, because it is a very, like, you just sit in class for 30 minutes for ICT. What are you learning? And then maybe we should make it maybe 1 hour, 1 hour 30 minutes, and also all the time we should try and then educate them outside the classes, so that maybe they can, see tech as interesting, and also the women can also feel that, oh, okay, so it's not just for the men, I can also, do it. So but then maybe the conferences might be for the university.
No, they're actually young people. You see, that's one mindset in Ghana. People think that I mean, I have a lot of people. No, I know a lot of younger people that go for conferences. At 18, I was going for conferences. And when I come back from school, SHS, I go for conferences. There are lots of people. How many people
have
do you?
conference for younger people?
But do you think people are aware that they are actually conferences? That's the question.
That is another
Because
angle
maybe
to it.
you were able to attend, but maybe someone growing the person.
Another angle to that. I mean, let's take Soronko for instance. When Soronko organizes these coding classes, I see a lot of kids coming. I don't think they are all DBs. I don't want to believe that.
It's because their parents are there and they saw it.
Exactly. So I mean, I don't know what to say, but the point is that regardless of whatever we want to do to push the agenda, wherever angle you take it from, there's always somebody that's going to benefit from it. Do you understand? So the fact that maybe Akosua doesn't go for conferences because she's 15 years doesn't mean there's a 15-year-old somewhere else who won't be interested. There are kids that are using their phones for like super good stuffs. You'll be surprised. Me, when I pick my phone, I don't follow celebrities. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but I have my reasons for being on social media. I know a lot of children who have phones and they don't play games. They use it for better things. I'm not saying playing game is bad, but there are actually better things you can use your phone for. And so that mindset that, oh, Ghana and call conferences, no, we should just, I mean, excuse my French, scrap it. It shouldn't be in our books.
Okay.
It will work.
I like what you are saying, but don't you feel like our parents may be intimidated by tech? Because sometimes parents feel like once we expose our children to tech at a tender age, then the child is going to go wayward, because there are so many things on social media.
So the parents will have to do conference for them. A big problem. No, that's the truth.
No, but you know this is so real, because you are bringing up a child.
Yes.
And then you don't want the child to go wayward. So at what age should we introduce a child to, let's say, this tech devices? Because at the end of the day, when you go to social media, like you're saying that some don't use their phones for games and all of that. But there are, if we want to count majority, it's how many children are actually using their phones to learn.
I don't have that data, so I can't. I know, for me, I know that there are kids using their phones for good stuff. I don't have the actual data, so I can't answer.
So how do you think we can make our parents feel safe when it comes to like tech, so that they don't feel so intimidated to even introduce their children? Because sometimes my mom will see something on social media and she'll be like, hey, make sure they're doing that. Hey, so you see, so for someone like her, she doesn't think the place is safe for her to even introduce her child to it at that tender age. So how can we make our parents, because like you're saying, everything boils down to mindset shift. But how are you going to convince such a parent?
So that's why we need to work on the younger mindset to be able to convince them, because they are old.
Yeah.
No matter what you say, they think social media is bad.
Yes.
Even those that have gone to school, a lot of them think that social media is bad, which is true on the flip side, but you can actually use it for good stuffs. And so we have to convince them that there's actually no way that anybody external can do the convincing so well than you. I have been able to convince my aunt that TikTok is not a bad space, because she knows that I'm using TikTok to do a lot of good things.
Alright, so let's wrap up by looking forward. What would make tech feel more approachable to you? Fosua.
Enough training, enough work on the mindset of people in my country.
Okay, you're specific. Okay.
Yes, I agree with Fosua. Enough training and and of course less jargons.
Less jargons, so that you can also smile.
Like my high fidelity
Stuff. It's too much, so I think that will make it interesting. Yes.
Yeah, I also think enough education should be done, like from childhood. Because when you're growing up, that's when you get to see all these things. So when you get to know more about tech, that's when you get interested. Because we all started, when you know how to speak, hey, go and do this. When you know when you're good at science, they tell you to, go to medical fields and then do whatever you want to do. So I think if you are teaching more, tech at a younger age, a lot of people will also get interested in that and then.
This has been an amazing conversation. I love how honest and raw the conversation got. A huge thank you to Petit Déjeuner for sponsoring this episode. And of course, a huge thank you to our amazing ladies for sharing with us their opinions. Now we leave it to you. Does tech intimidate you? Leave your comments below. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe to this channel. This is Beyond the Keyboards, where we amplify voices in tech and beyond.